Hey, you know how they say a picture's worth 1,000 words? Well, what if you had 1,000 words in a picture? Would that be like 2,000 words? Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you this Twixtor for the advanced user. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this video and try to slow it down a huge amount. Like we're talking 1,000 frames per second, 1,500 almost. And we're going to come across is a few artifacts, some ghosting, things like that are usually impossible to solve on your own just with Twixtor's time calculator. Okay, then let's get started. First thing that you gotta do, of course, is import your footage. So go find it and import that. Then you're gonna drag down here and make it into a new comp by dragging over your new comp button. There you go. Alright. So first thing that you do now is, of course, change your footage length. You probably want to add on a few more seconds to a good, let's say 20 seconds more. I have no idea how much that is for me in frames, so I'm just going to give it 1,000 more frames. That should probably do it. Okay. So I give myself a good third amount. Next, we go down to our layers panel right here and select our video layer. Right click and choose, of course, time remapping. All you gotta do is just drag out your footage and there you go. Now you got your video all set up on the last frame. Alright. So like I said earlier, what we're gonna do is we're gonna slow this video down right about here. Give it a good 1,000 frames, 1,500. I'm not really sure how slow we really want to go. And it's gonna go all around, whipping around the bike, still in slow-mo, and start to speed up right around here as soon as he lands down. So right here is going to be the issue as soon as he whips around his bike because the pixels are crossing, but hopefully with the Twixtor's tools we can try to make a good enough situation of what we have. Alright, so now we'll just make a new solid right here. We'll call it Twixtor. Yeah, Twixtor or Twixtor. Whatever, same thing. Make sure it's a comp size of your video dimensions, so there you go. And now we're going to apply Twixtor to it. Okay. As you guys already saw in the first video, I already show you how to plug in your footage, so I'm just going to go through that really quickly here. So now we'll go through the footage and see where the best place is to put our keyframes. Okay, so now we got this all loaded up. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so we got some initial ghosting on the front tire. Now we got a bunch on the back. Easily doable, maybe. So far, none up top. Still pretty good. Some on the shoe. A little bit on the shoulders. So as you can see, this is a huge slowdown. This is a really extreme version of what you're probably going to look for because this is almost way too much slow motion. Alright, and okay, a bunch of ghosting on the front end. Alright, so far it looks pretty good, I'd say. Even with the bit of ghosting on the back of the tire, hopefully we can fix that with a little magic called splines. So what is a spline? Spline, same thing, tracking point. I call them tracking points. To be honest, they're called splines, but whatever. Anyways, basically tracking points or splines are these little dots that represent changes in pixel movement over time in two-dimensional space. So as you can see here, we have a whole bunch of them, and really all they are just little spots. Little tiny markers. So first thing you want to do is you want to check your display to source, so you can only view your source footage. That's the first step. Now you got the first step down. Boom, great. Like I was saying earlier, tracking points are going to be probably the most helpful thing that you're actually ever going to use in Twixtor to be able to cut down any form of ghosting. Alright, so like I said earlier, make sure you have your display set to source. That's super important. And let's go down and start putting these puppies in. So let me just go to a part where I really would like to see the initial ghosting come off, or just where I'd like to have the tracking points come in to stop the ghosting and or help the render. So about, yeah, right here at the back of the hub of the wheel sounds about good. I'm thinking about putting one right on the back axle on the right hand side. That seems like a good area to start off, and maybe a few more around the wheel once you get used to it. So next, now you're gonna have to click those two little stopwatches and make sure that you select your main background layer as soon as you're starting your first tracking point. Now you'll see why I'm telling you this in about 5 minutes. Okay, so now you want to see this little crosshair that you have there. Click that, and here comes the most hardest part of all the entire work that you have to do with Twixtor. Basically, now you just have to click anywhere you want that you would think would be a good place to track, like for example on the back of the wheel or on the axle where I wanted. So you click right there, and you're done. There you go. And now for each frame that comes by, you're gonna have to constantly keep moving that to another. So click the crosshair, boom, move it to the other one. Click a crosshair, and boom, move it to the other one like a boss. If you're wondering if this sounds weird, I'm actually recording this off of mic. I'm dubbing it because something went wrong with the audio file. So if it seems weird, don't worry about it. So yeah, like I was saying, you just need to basically every time the frame moves, you need to move the actual tracking point physically itself by using the crosshair, and well, that's really it. You know, that's really the advanced tools that Twixtor has. Well, one of them at least. So I'm going to go through about maybe 2 or 3 of them. I'm not sure. And let's see what it looks like. Oh, and just a reminder, as soon as you think you're done for one part of the tracking points, you want to make sure to turn them off, because they will literally start stretching and destroying your video if you leave them somewhere and then you move them like across the video frame, and that really doesn't look that good at all. Yeah. So don't do that. So as soon as you're done, just click don't use, so it won't be in use, and it'll start to kick in right here. And if you want just to have an extra amount of cleanliness, turn it off, and the next frame over, turn it on once more, just in case somehow After Effects hit its head in the morning and says that it's on, even though you have no keyframe in the beginning stating that is so. So yeah, basically just a frame before you turn it on, make sure you just turn it off. Alright, so continuing on. Anyways, I just want to say that there is a tip that you can use when you're trying to track a point on a surface that you can't really tell where you are. For example, on this tire, all the pixels, to be honest, look really the same, and I really don't know where the heck I am. So a way to do this is go through each frame and quickly rotate through them. So you can see, for example, I'll move this one here, and I'll move this one a bit higher, and if I go through them, you'll see that they don't really match to the motion of the wheel, you know. So that's a tip that you can use, and I honestly use that a lot when I'm going through my track points and I don't really know where to put them. So you might want to use that tip if you're ever confused on where to go. Okay, so continuing on once again. Okay, if you don't know what to do now, you need to go to the second part of the video. You know, just a reminder. Just want to make sure you know.